Hey guys, Daniel here for Escaping Network. With everything going on in the news right now, we want you to know that we stand with those out there protesting for change. It's only going to happen if we all let our voices be heard and stand together. This is a very important time for all of us. So if you or someone you know needs help with resources or effective ways to cause this change and ways that we can donate and our listeners can help, please reach out to us at escaping.podcast@gmail.com or on our Facebook or Instagram pages. We stand with you and hope that together we can make this a better place. Thank you, and now on to the show.
By pressing play, you've been transported to Escape Velocity, where the random and ridiculous thoughts expressed here do not reflect the views of the store or the employees. There will be no apologies for the things said today by your hosts and their guests. With that being said, enjoy the experience. Yeah, guys.
Why, hello there.
It's just another Manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday. You know why?
Because it's a fun day.
You goddamn right. And just like the Go-Go's, we about to go with another episode of Yo, Where the Captions At? Where the Captions At? Where the Captions At?
Here they are!
Yeah! See, we gonna fix that. All right, we're gonna fix that in post. But you don't bring, yeah.
I had to debate if I was really gonna do it or not.
I was gonna try.
I was like, God
Yeah,
damn it.
I was gonna try to hit it, but I knew I wasn't gonna be able to obtain that goal. So like, let me stop right before I jump off the cliff.
And I was like, do I really want to jump off the cliff? Fuck it, I'll die today.
Yo, yeah. And as always, I'm yours truly, Kels for Show, aka the Black Seth Cohen. Join with me, of course, is my bro host.
And you know it's Roscoe, aka the sleepy black man in the back of the room.
Yes. And with us, as always, of course, is Daniel Rojas, making sure everything comes to you as clear and precise as possibly.
This show is my life.
We love you, Freddie Benson.
And just like his life, he's lying about it because it's not his life.
No, it's not.
And joining us today is our special host, one of the people I've known the longest in Colorado Springs.
Oh, I feel offended, but whatever. The person I've known the longest since living in Colorado Springs, my good old brethren.
If you know us, you know him. He goes by multiple names. Somebody know him as Too Hot for TV. Somebody know him as Johnny Storm, the Human Torch. Some may know him as Mojo.
Some may know him as Kelsey's moon to his son.
Don't you do that, because I am nobody's moon. I am the center of our universes and galaxies. Nah.
I said
No.
his moon to your son.
I know what you said. I am nobody's property.
Oh, fine, Bruto. You don't want to be Bruto.
I am nobody's property.
All right.
You would not do that.
This shit got weird.
You would not
real
do that.
fast.
All right, Bruto.
You would not do
All right,
that.
Bruto.
But what we will do is welcome on one of our nearest and dearest friends, our white ally, the boy Joe Ingargiola. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, everybody. It's a pleasure to be on for the first time, and I hope it's the first time of many. And I would also like to just chime in and say that you might hear some white noise in the background, and that's my man's Chris there.
Hi, friend. See how the white man comes in and try to outdo you at your job? You see that shit? He's trying to get a podcast so bad. Lord.
Can we go with beige noise?
I've been doing this.
He's a mild taupe.
I've been doing the sideline stuff this whole show's history, and there's nothing like a couple whites coming in and trying to clean
Exactly.
house.
Like, jeez Louise. They didn't give me a second to get to. Like,
Bro, there's a little bit of pigment here.
if you know they're going to eat the chicken, you might as well make the biscuits.
So
I
make
get
it-
mistaken for a Mexican all summer long.
Well, that makes sense, because, yeah, why wouldn't you?
I'm just brown enough, apparently.
Exactly, you are. And they just want the opportunity to say something wild to you. Like, hola. Like, bro.
People are always
Que paso,
mistaking
güey?
me for Mexican as well.
Hey, I'm not taking anything away.
But anywho, how's everybody doing today?
Oh, fabulous. I just got done taking a nice old nap while y'all were recording. So, you know, I am welly energized for the...
While
for
we
the
were
day.
recording what? Be more specific.
Escaping Podcast, the #1 podcast in all things geek, needy, and everything in between.
Like how everything was wrong about that statement that you made. Jeez Louise, you're not gonna come here and flavor up the Kool-Aid of Escaping Podcast. I put too much.
Can't just dump an extra cup of sugar in there
into
and
that
expect
show
it
for
to be
that.
sweet.
It's like
How diggity dare you?
it's like
No, this is out.
Ross. It's like you heard about our show from a third party that was partially deaf in one ear.
Cause she mad I didn't stick around with her. That's why.
Debbie blind.
You say
I
that
just read-
because you've done that.
Cause let me tell you about my next life. It's not that great.
Run it back.
No, running back is black. And that's something else too we have to deal with. Because if you believe in reincarnation like myself, just imagine like I have to come back again and go through this shit again. Yikes! So that's one of the things too when people talk to you about having an old soul. Like depending when you transpire in the previous life, you come back with all that knowledge and that surplus of experiences already in your body. That's why some people I know in our circle be like, yo, that boy been here before. Like his skin may be
Well, it's
whiter than the snow at dawn, but that soul though, that soul went
Black
through
and
some
white,
traumas.
baby.
He knows something about a yam.
There's that
You know
whole
something about a
thing
yam.
where it said white people are like, oh, the baby's so smart, but people of color are like, this baby's been here before.
Exactly. It just knows some things, man. It just knows some things. And with that being said, I guess nobody else has anything to say about how they're doing, how they're feeling.
Doing pretty good. Been out there protesting. You know, it's been
Word.
kind of crazy, but we're making progress peacefully.
Yes. Protest. Speak your truth. Whether it's popular or not, say who you really are so we can judge you for who you say you are. That's the most important thing. Even if I don't agree with your shit, let me know how you really think so I can know how to handle you.
But you never
By
know.
not voting you if we just don't see eye to
Just
They just might say, look in my eyes, like Drew Brees.
No, I'll say, no, you might got the Makugan. You ain't gonna trap me in some infinite taijutsu. Like, no, bro, I'm listening to your words. Tell me how you feel.
Just happened.
I know Joe's an ally because he's the only white person I know that's still rocking a Michael Vick jersey even after them dogs. And
Hell
that says
yeah.
a lot. Because dogs shouldn't be more important than human life.
dude,
I'm just saying that's how I feel. Now, I do fuck with dogs. I think some shit is fucked
do
up.
fuck
But
with
the
a
fact
dog.
that Michael Vick has spent more time in jail than all the cops from like 2004 to now for killing unarmed people is not even close. That's a problem.
and that motherfucker has paid more money out of his own pocket to further like kill shelters and the HSPPR, like any sort of organization that wants to make animals healthy and safe. That dude is paying money out of pocket. All this Michael Vick hate is unfounded. Look into it a little bit. Yeah, I still have that dude's jersey from way back in 2004 when I used to play with that dude on Madden and make tons of money gambling.
Michael Vick came over to your house to play Madden.
No,
Nah.
I used to play as Michael Vick on Madden
Yes.
in Fort Collins and make a butt ton of money.
Yes. Yes. Thank you for that, Joe Kellerman. And now let's get into it. And if you're not familiar with the show, our first topic is Yo, What's Poppin'? And that's when we go
poppin'?
around and talk about certain headlines from the world of geek culture, pop culture, American culture, music, wrestling, and anything else we randomly decide we want to talk about. And speaking of wrestling, there was an event that went on this weekend, Ross. You want to talk about that real quick?
Yes, NXT TakeOver in your house.
In your house.
25-year anniversary of the first
25.
one. It was nice. It was good.
Who's
Keith Lee
Lee.
supported Black Lives Matters.
I like that
Wearing
shit.
a full Black Lives Matter jacket and gear. Good old Io Shirai showed why she was to me, one of the top best female athletes in WWE. And they also had the backlot match where Adam Cole has retained the belt and still being the longest reigning NXT male champion, as well as in 2 months his contract is going up, so don't know if he's actually, well, it's rumored that he re-signed it, but don't know yet. But he could be going to AEW sooner than people think.
And who did he beat to retain his title?
Oh, your boy Velveteen Dream coming out dressed up like Negan.
Yeah, he did.
He dressed like Negan?
Yeah.
Vegan.
Like, I'm gonna pop some heads out of some eyes.
Yes. If we were in this time frame right now, there's several jokes I would have made about that, but I won't right now.
If you could see
Out
me
to the
standing
people.
up, I'd be cocked to the side like Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Negan.
Yes. Rampage with The Rock and Digital Monkeys.
Got a big old monkey.
Yes.
The bat didn't have barbed wires on it, but it was close enough to
Shane
look like
Silas' dad?
Seal.
You can breathe. You can cry.
The comedian as well, but least funny. Ha! Punchline is, we all die.
He raised his bitch.
Watch The Watchmen.
Someone
He did have
has
the
to.
last laugh though.
Exactly. Damn, that show was. Woo.
I've been trying to get my whole house to watch it now because they're all.
There
trying to
people
be-
still in your
they're
house
all-
that haven't watched
oh,
it?
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Two
man.
of us.
Well,
Two of us have watched it.
You and CJ.
No. Me and CJ's girlfriend Cindy.
You guys live in the wrong house.
They
haven't watched it either.
they live in a perfect non-key house.
I haven't either, but that's because Ross is barely put HBO on my shit.
Whoa. You haven't watched Watchmen.
I haven't
You
seen
haven't
it.
watched Watchmen.
It is fully on
Whoa.
the box,
Homework.
Okay.
but should have had a VA.
Next time we speak, that shit need to happen. I never Jeffrey Weaver
Hey,
in real life
ultimate-
before. I didn't know that shit really worked.
All right.
Homework.
So that's the homework. Since none of you guys can watch Korra right now, because that DVD is being held by somebody else, Watchmen, HBO Max, HBO Now, HBO Go. It's only, 8 episodes?
10.
And you will figure out why it's the best TV series of last year. If you watch The Boys,
It be the
The Boys is number 2. It's easy, like 1A, 1B. If it was not for The Watchmen, The Boys would have been the best TV series of last year.
I love The Boys. The Boys was great.
And
fuck with that
Kelsey,
Watchmen.
Kelsey put it to me the best way I've ever heard it, that this is low-key the blackest show on TV, and holy shit, is it amazing.
Yes. So
I've heard that as well, but if we throw in that homework, Kelsey, watch Made in Abyss.
nah. I'm just being honest.
Kelsey doesn't do homework, he just passed tests.
Oh Lord, you know me so well.
Was it because of crib sheets?
No, because I'm Zach Morris, baby.
It was just like high school, all over again.
Hell yeah, I'm a cruise through this shit like Tom, baby. Because I got the need for speed, not the drug, just to speed my way out of this fucking classroom. Because I got other shit to do. Yes, homework. We always have other work to do inside of our homes, and I will not sit here and neglect that to a fact. But I will put that on a list because 13 Reasons Why the final season has came out this prior week. I have not started that just because I have other series in front of that. I do look forward to seeing how it all ends, but I can already tell that I would describe the series for people that haven't seen it yet. Don't bother, but no matter how this last season ends, I'm gonna be like, don't bother watching all of it. Just watch the first season. That's the most important season. That's literally must watch television, especially if you have a younger kid or person in your life and you really don't know how to just talk to them, especially with things like mental illness and suicide. Like this, I'm not gonna say this is the easiest way, but it's at least an opening to have that dialogue. Because last thing you want to do is have somebody close to you not be here without giving them the opportunity or even just letting them know that, yo, we can talk about some shit. Ross?
Yeah, I haven't started 13 Reasons yet neither, but that's also because I have other shit as well as gone into some anime.
Well, that first season of 13 Reasons Why is the only season based off of the actual literature. isn't it?
Yes. Exactly,
Yeah, but it's
yes.
also certain things have changed. Like she didn't cut herself in the TV. In
The
the
book.
books, she swallowed pills.
But everything after the first season
It's all
is just hype.
that, as well as it's just really not even based off of the
Unnecessary.
book. So it's just all.
I want to say it's
whatever they would.
I want to say it's unnecessary. I will say it could have been done better.
They strayed away from the core material.
Well,
Well, the core material is only just the first season.
Yeah, the core
Well,
material is
yeah,
the first
but
season of the book,
where-
so
where
anything
is
after that
the-
is cake.
Where is the second, third, and now even the fourth season, which literally has nothing to do with suicide or mental illness? It's now about a murder cover-up.
Well, technically, they still give us mental illness because the main character is suffering from it as well.
Well, all of them are suffering from some sort of trauma or
That is true.
It's survivor's guilt. There's a ton of different things they still kind of do cover, but it is lost. It's a totally different monster now.
Exactly, but that's the underlining theme of it is how you deal with these adversities in your life. Like, it went from the focus of, like, of course, Hannah Baker to go to, like, the ramifications. Yes, and just seeing, like, the more real world, maybe consequences for people's actions. But I feel like they lost what they were trying to do in teaching, enlightening people by having it so ridiculous in how they try to continue it. Like, if they would just sat down, like, let's try to keep. That's what I liked about the first season, because it felt real. Everything after it just felt like
It should
a
have
TV
stopped.
series.
It should have stopped at
Like,
one.
because I know it's all real, or fake, but it's like when you get sucked into it and you have to remind yourself, like, oh shit, these aren't real kids. These are actors. Everything after season one, like, they're acting. Like,
The second season is still semi-relatable to the first season, but 3 and 4 really just go off the wires for me.
yeah, definitely.
What
Does
it
I'm
relates back
finishing-
to is that the second season, third season, and now the fourth season are just the amalgamation of what the writers and directors want to put into existence because they're just trying to make that cash grab.
Yeah, they got eyes on it now, so they're just trying to
Just stop.
keep eyes on it.
And
Leave
speaking
it.
of
Leave it for what it is.
yes, and speaking of cash grabs, they're already in talks of working on a new film starring Harley Quinn in the DCEU. It's not being said what the movie exactly is going to be about, but they're already turning the wheels to get her into another film where she's the focus. And most people are assuming it's going to be the Gotham City Sirens movie that shit was supposed to predate. That was supposed to predate Birds of Prey. Yes.
So y'all cancel the movie just to be like, no, we're not canceling it no more.
Because the movie they thought was going to do better didn't do better. So now they got to figure out how to bring her back to the forefront.
Even with Ewan McGregor.
They should have just did this Sirens first like they wanted to, but no.
Yes, they should have gave us Sirens first,
losers.
then gave us within that the setup for Birds of Prey. So in the Birds of Prey, they're assembled and they're trying to take out the Sirens, or at least Harley Quinn, and that's how they bring her into the fold. Then you can give us a third one when the bad bitches and the good girls are all working together, XYZ, woman power, whatever you want to do. But it's going to be interesting to see, because I know that movie's going to happen. It's going to happen regardless, especially when you have Zoe Kravitz about to be Catwoman, and the Matt Reeves movie with the boy
Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson.
Pattinson.
And if they bring that into it and make that universe canon with that, it's gonna be like, oh shit. Now we get this young, because Zoe Kravitz is not younger than fucking Margot Robbie. So like, oh, you get an old Harley Quinn with a young Catwoman, and then you also give us Poison Ivy in some capacity, because you can't do this. You gotta give us this Poison Harley, especially after how the cartoon has been killing this whole dynamic of that relationship.
I guess my question to you with that is, would you rather Ivy be introduced fully in this next movie, or teased in this next movie to have a full part in the third one?
Give us
fully in both.
Yes. This one time I will let him speak for me. Yes, because we agree.
Dive in.
Totally. Yeah,
Fully.
fuck it.
Dive in.
Treat these moviegoers like they know what they're going to see. And guess what we know? We know what we're going to see. And if you put Ivy in the trailer, guess what we're going to be like? Ivy's in the trailer. I know about Poison Ivy. Now give us this origin, this version of her.
Also, why spoil just all the excitement on one character, Harley Quinn, when she has a fucking best friend that as many people that are fans of Harley Quinn are a fan of Poison Ivy? Give us our green, beautiful, red-haired bitch, and let it go.
Or if you're gonna reset the Batman universe, quote unquote, just fucking dive in. Let's get after it. Fully immerse me in the Batman mythos. Give me Harley. Give me Mr. Freeze. Give me Poison Ivy. Give me Penguin. Give me everything. Just everybody who's going to watch this movie is an adult. everybody who watches this movie is going to bring their kid, and the adult is going to sit next to the kid and explain what that person is, what that person is, what that person is. Give me what we want in a movie. Don't explain the story. Don't give me a year one. Don't give me any sort of short sell. Give me what we want. Give me a Batman that is going to actually get after it. If you're not going to give me Ben Affleck, if you're not going to give me a Batman, if you're not going to give me a Ben Affleck Batman, give me the Batman we deserve right now, and we'll, as parents and as nerds and as people that voice the internet, we will give you the backstory that you need, you deserve, you want, you crave for. We'll give you all that. Just give me what we want right now.
First off, when you said short sell, that hit different. That felt like a personal attack. But, now that's a joke besides, but when we get into the crux of it, we have had these immersions into the Batman verse. And the interesting thing about this, with the Snyder Cut coming, Ben has always wanted to be Batman. Henry Cavill has always wanted to be Superman. You just didn't give them the just dues, because in Ben Affleck's Batman, it was going to be based on an Arkham Asylum arc. We have all his villains, and he had to go in there and deal with them, setting up for him to catch them all again, like the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo of villains. But they decided not to go that. That's why Deadshot, Will Smith was supposed to be in that movie too, and Deathstroke. But now rumors are being circulated that they might try to revisit. So if anything, we might get two Bat verses. We might get the Robert Pattinson version and the already established DCEU, because Henry Cavill has already been signed to come back and to play Superman in more cameo roles like the Hulk and what other characters like in the Marvel movies.
And that's great.
Exactly. So now they could play with different things. Like, all right, fans didn't like this one. Boom, we're going to do this way. Just like with Robert Pattinson, maybe go younger with this one, or just in this universe. But and that still give you time if they want to expand on Ben Affleck. Then you could do that and use the Marvel de-aging technology to go back and do flashbacks, Arrow style.
But let me
out.
intercede there. If you're gonna give me a Robert Pattinson year one, if you're gonna start,
actually it's not year one, it's like year 2 or 3.
If you're gonna give me an early Batman,
yeah,
you better flesh this out. And don't string me along, and don't give me a rebirth and a rebirth and a rebirth and a reiteration and a reiteration.
See, that's one thing, like, you just gotta get over. That's American privilege, because that's what movies do.
Well, no, it's not what movies do.
Except for just for like Tom Holland. This is the first Spider-Man we didn't have to see Ben die.
Well, just give me, if you're gonna do it,
yeah,
full blown, get into it and do it.
But they also try to do that as well, but it's all about the execution. Chris, you have something?
So back to Joey's point, if you want some of the best nitty-gritty Batman stories, you need year 1, year 2, year 3, because he's trying to figure out what the hell he's doing after he did this long stint training with assassins and whatever, trying not to be an assassin. But the other best Batman stories are old Batman stories, unless you get in the few and far between, like Long Halloween and some of his...
Hush.
Yeah, when it comes down to him just being a more experienced Batman, those are when you get all sides. You get the violence, you get the detective, you get you get everything. You get the love story, you get
the rape.
Oh God!
Well, just if
Barbara Gordon and Batman.
That's the killing joke.
No, not Talia Ghul. She raped him.
Well, she's been raped that many times.
Well, Talia Ghul.
She been raping that many
Talia
times.
Ghul talked Bruce into fucking her, and that's how Damian came about.
No.
While he was drugged.
While he was drugged.
That's
So Damian.
So Batman got raped, not her.
No, Barbara Gordon did. Talia raped Batman.
Talia.
Yeah, that's what I said.
We're talking about Talia.
Yeah, but
Damian
Barbara
Wayne
Gordon,
is
Y'all know
about.
what she did.
She got raped by the Joker.
She.
He was snatching shit.
And that was after he shot the bitch and tried. That was the killing joke. One like the best read you could ever get.
Animated movies that DC has ever done.
I would say
read the book. Fuck
One
the
at a
fucking
time.
movie.
But
The movie they try to update it, and the whole scene between Batman and Barbara before everything happens is totally fabricated in the movie. Read the graphic novel.
I will sum this up by saying, hell no. The last joke, the killing joke, whatever. The fact that Batman's fucking Batgirl after she's been with Dick Grayson, after she got pregnant and lost the baby, that's not my Batman. I will not give that credence to that movie because you have movies like The Red Hood.
It doesn't have the book.
You have
Under the Red Hood.
Phantasm. You have all these other dope ass Batman centric movies that are just better to me personally.
Hush. They
Just
made it to an
Hush.
animated movie.
I'm not including the
Hush
source
is
material.
mediocre at best.
I'm not counting the source material. I'm just talking about the animated movie. Like the
But
Killing Joke. I will not
Killing-
rewatch Killing Joke, but there's Batman Assault on Arkham.
Amazing.
baby.
And as someone who just played through the Arkham series again, holds up. But also, Under the Red Hood, that last scene with Jason as a kid, after he's, gone and shit again, and he's like, this is going to be the best day ever. And you're like, bitch,
No.
you're about to die.
Batman,
But guess what? It's not.
the Killing Joke is not better than Batman Ninja Turtles.
No,
if we're
that's true.
talking
Batman Ninja
animated
Turtles
movies,
is solid.
Yes, that's all I'm talking about. That's all I'm talking about.
Animated movie,
No.
That's all I'm talking
Kels
about.
brought that over to my place.
That's
We
all I'm
watched it.
saying.
I
But-
was skeptical until about 30 seconds in.
So
And then
to
I was buckled in for the ride of my fucking life.
so to walk the animated movie,
Dog back.
well, to walk the dog back, to pull it in. If you're gonna give me a young Robert Pattinson, you better finish it off with a Ben Affleck that is seasoned and grisly and
Batfleck
nasty.
is gone. We don't get no more
No.
Frank Miller.
He would do it again if the right director's there,
I
if
see.
the continuity's there.
I
If he got
see-
drunk again,
Hold on. I see your Batfleck, and I raise you an epilogue at the end of the Batman movie with Michael Keaton training Terry.
I'll say
Word.
let's bring
that
back
needs
Michael
to be
Keaton.
a show.
Best Batman
That
ever.
needs to be a HBO
Film
Max
Max series,
show.
if not the
But
movie,
that's
which
how you
we've
set
been saying
that
that
up.
shit for years.
Don't
That's
give me a
how you
movie.
set that up.
Give me a show.
So
And to
you
put-
want a Batman Beyond?
I want a
Exactly.
Batman
DC,
Beyond show.
HBO collabo to have the best Batman ever, Michael Keaton.
No.
Train Terry McGinnis.
That subject is for
Gordon
another
Levitt.
podcast. That's for another podcast.
We can
Or they
have this
need a younger
podcast
Terry
all night
McGinnis.
long.
But we won't. You know why?
Because guess what? What are we gonna do?
We're
You
living
don't,
in
first
the
off, you don't
structure.
let me talk for my black ass self because we got other things to get to.
I got a fresh beer.
I know
what
you
you
got a
want.
fresh beard, but you ain't got a fresh year so far because 2020 has been a poop day. What's that? A charcuterie board or shittery?
Charcuterie bar. Delicious.
A shooter.
But to
Put on
put,
a shirt.
but to put a nail in the DC coffin, the actor that played Elongated Man on The Flash has just been fired for guess what, guys?
Tweets from
Racism.
6
All
years ago.
racist, sexist, and vulgar tweets.
What do you say?
6 years ago.
I don't even know because the person I would listen to YouTube like I don't even really want to repeat this shit. But guess
It
what?
was like that.
It was bad enough for them to be like,
It's
You
bad.
gone?
Ooh,
They didn't even put him on a probate period.
Nah.
They didn't even give him a
Ooh-wee.
chance to explain himself.
So-
They just fired
Ooh-wee.
Elongated Man from Flash.
So now I'm just like,
Ooh,
maybe we could get
wee.
the official, the real OG, the plastic man that we all really wanted. Because I had no problem with his character. It grew on me, but at the same time, like, oh, if you're not that person now, I feel bad for you. But if you've never been checked, it's hard for you to change, especially as a white man in America. Not only just a white man, but anybody that just get used to what they get to do. And that's why they say it's hard to teach old dogs new tricks. Because if I get a cookie for doing the same play dead, guess what? I ain't coming back. But
But
that's
you got
what-
cookie though.
Ladies and gentlemen, that just
no,
boils
not
back
what I
to
said. I didn't get a cookie. Like, that's
be
what-
cognizant of what you put online. Every thought, every
Oh yeah, now
tweet,
yeah.
every blurb that you put out to the world.
Hell yeah, I can't
That
wait to get
shit,
canceled.
that shit could come back and cancel you, get you fired.
I can't wait to cancel that shit because you can't cancel me if I don't give a fuck.
Did they get canceled last week?
No, nobody watches it enough. That's why I can't wait for them to pull up old ass tweet like, oh, well, on the podcast he said this. Like, and
I only said one funny thing.
you ain't getting my bread. Shit, nigga, we vegan over here. We gluten free. We eat lettuce, kale,
No, we don't.
All the
What it
vegetables.
what it boils
We
down
don't
to
eat
is
kale over here.
just
Papaya.
people loving people.
Man,
Yo, watermelon comes in different colors. There's a yellow out there. I didn't even know that shit to be true. Because they don't teach us shit like that in school.
That shit is true. And
I
it's
know.
delicious.
You're
Fucking-
using GMOs.
With
Exactly.
a little bit of tahini.
And I stand with them too. Let the rainbow be their color, yo.
GMOs not part of the rainbow.
No, that was a joke.
Anyway, back on track. Back on
So
track.
that's going to wrap it up for the geek shit. I just want to touch on some music shit real quick because last week I totally spaced on letting y'all know about YWDCA on Spotify. It's an official program. It's an official profile. Find it, search it, follow it. We got YWDCA 4 and the 5th and the 6th. You can listen to that and listen to all the music we've been jamming out to during these quarantine times. Some of my favorite songs of this year has came out during that shit. A lot of dope albums. Ross, any particular songs or anything?
Oh wow,
Albums you
yes.
can talk about? real
There's
quick?
this black country singer by the name of Mickey Guyton.
Oh, I thought you were about to talk about Rumor.
Nah, baby, I'm about to talk about Black Like Me. Yeah, boy.
Send to white girl.
So there go you a nice black country song for you. there,
Black
Kelsey.
Like Me. Okay.
Yes.
So, are you gonna play that song? Or
No,
what?
we
no,
no.
we don't
We ain't
have
Joe
rights to
Rogan or
that.
Joe Budden or any other Joe. We don't got that licensing.
We ain't got
As the head of Escaping Network, please don't let us get sued. Talk about it, but
But yet also
Sorry.
And then you
Sorry,
see
first
me in
time.
the streets first.
Sorry, first time on the
remember
podcast.
this little single on the Look At Me video from XXXTentacion?
Yes.
That now has actually came out as a single, Riot. So that's there for
Gang.
gang.
Word.
Yeah, past that, I mean, not much. I just been, my usual, the Scots morning routine. But
Are you gonna elaborate on who the Scots are?
if you don't know who the Scots are, then you just don't know who
Ross,
But I'm
some
letting you
people
know.
don't
I'm
know
trying to
who
tell
the
you.
Scots are.
the Scots.
Yes.
baby.
Like me, for
Travis,
instance.
Travis and Kid Cudi, Scott.
We're not talking about Sean William Scott or Scott Summers. We're talking about
You say
Travis.
like Scott, like Scotty didn't
like
know,
Travie
bro.
from
Travis
Gym
Scott.
Class Heroes?
No, Travis Scott,
Oh.
the rapper. Sir.
Travis
Oh,
Scott and Kid
sorry.
Cudi.
Cudi.
Kid
Cudi
yeah.
got a single called "The Scots" that's been out for like months.
and that shit bangs because we was actually in Gasoline Alley and that shit came out.
Yeah, they played.
I didn't
it
realize
at
that shit
Gasoline
bumped because I never heard that shit in real speakers
Is
outside
that-
of my headphones.
That's after quarantine?
Yeah,
we-
during right now, like
literally
Saturday.
Saturday. We
Oh,
were up there
shit.
Saturday.
it took a while to get in, but it's still like
First
whatever.
come, first serve.
Oh,
You don't
I
like
was
15
going to
minutes.
say the
Yes.
only place I've been to is Tony's, and I went to get a burger at Bad Day today. It was great, but
Word. And also, that weird bitch is back. That queen of the monsters,
Oh,
Lady
Keisha.
Gaga, just dropped her new album, Chromatica, featuring one of my favorite new K-pop groups, Black Pink. Woo! Let's kill this love. And she had the girl Ariana Grande on that shit. And I just
they
realized
do have
Ariana
that
Grande
shit.
is not even Hispanic. She's just a dark-ass Sicilian Italian blend. And she ain't been correcting nobody. No, he got that little karate, that jinjitsu in his shit, so that shit don't count.
Just a history note.
I tan good,
Sicilians get their dark tan from intermixing with a black race.
I'm sorry. What do you mean intermixing?
Sex, motherfucker.
And you know why? Because we all come from
It's
Pangea.
called commingling.
And you can't pay
Sicilians with a dark white, they love chocolate before anybody else.
gelato.
I went through that phase too.
Yes. And Future, the toxic individual that he is, he dropped a new album, High on Life. My favorite Pop Tart, that girl, Charlie XCX, dropped another album, How I'm Feeling Now. And it's dope. The Weeknd, of course, dropped After Hours. And I really did that shit because it has a very 80s vibe to it. I'm all about my turbos, my Transformers, my Dark Knights, my love is a battlefield. Sometimes doves cry during a thriller, and guess what? Yep.
So you mentioned Future.
Yes.
Something you should know: a local rapper here in the Springs, Ian Taylor, just dropped one of his songs with Future.
Oh, word.
Yeah. So check that out.
I bet that shit's toxic.
On the
So
come
that's on
up.
the next playlist?
And,
maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Then the girl Selena Gomez dropped her latest album, Rare, with features Kid Cudi as well. Roscoe listens to that song.
Sweetest Place is my favorite song.
That shit going. The girl JoJo, yes, JoJo.
But actually, I do love her too. That is my other hit.
JoJo, I'm gonna use a word that I don't use because I'm black, but the boy Brian Vance uses all the time.
Yummy.
JoJo, no, is a total babe. Still to this day. That little thing is on
Yummy.
Natasha Knight
Yummy.
shit. I'm gonna leave it at that. The Dream dropped Sex Tape 4. That shit's a legit album. You at the crib with a little young lady showing mine. You play some music, light a couple candles, dim them lights, put on some Dream, let that falsetto rock her while you
Yes.
rock her.
Yes, sir.
Why you pour the lotion on her?
Yeah, ooh, boy, that natural lotion. Chris Brown and Young Thug dropped the slapper, no pun intended, called Slimy B. That shit's legit. And the boy Drake dropped Dark Lane demo tapes. That shit's cool. And that's just some of the albums that we've been listening to. I'm not gonna get specific to the songs because I could be here all day talking about that shit. But like I said, YWDCA Spotify. We're gonna have a link for it at the profile. Click on that shit. Look at all the playlists. If you're ever bored and need something to listen to, just throw one on, and you get a better sense of what we vibe out to while we're coming up with these topics or just living our day-to-day 24 hours. Word. And with that coming to a wrap, we're about to get into the we geeking out segment. Geeking. And today we're going to be geeking out with the contemporary classic. You could somewhat say trailblazing.
Would you say you were on the run, driving in the sun?
I would say we were having fun playing beer pong in the sun, 2-on-2 or 1-on-1. Colorado's where we at. You can't spell that without cool, and that's a fact. Colorado.
I don't like those.
Colorado.
Here we go.
Colorado. We leave and come right back. Colorado is where we at.
The backwards
The
OC.
The backwards OC. As soon as somebody said that to us, we was like, oh shit. Cause shit ain't really popping like that. We ain't rich and wealthy. We in these mountains, on these Cody sacks. That's where the Cody's at. Cody's be white boys that aren't Selfs and Ryans and they don't have to live. Yeah,
Cody's are the nice ones.
Exactly. Or at least they escape with you.
They're not the Kyles
Oh, you don't want to
or
Kyle.
the Tyners.
My best friend's name is
Skylar.
Kyle, but he's also Guatemalan and Japanese. So
That don't
that-
count.
That's different.
Is he
But he
still a
ain't right.
Ranger?
What his fireball look like?
Oh,
Do those walls still fill those holes?
oh, he don't punch no walls.
I'm just trying to say, She-Hova Gaia has gave me the strength to be Kwame. And with my power combined, we're going to talk about the OC. And that's why I brought Joe on this episode today, because the OC, for him, me, and Ross, is one of those TV shows that we related to because we love so much at this point in time in our life. And this shit came out circa 2004, like right during senior year, but I didn't come into it until like season 2 was dropping.
And I didn't come into it until season 3.
Exactly, after I got onto it because Joe was already into it, and that's just a trickle down effect.
So it all started. I got off work one night and I started watching this show on TV, and I was really into it. And it was just a parallel of like this kid, rough life, coming in, getting adopted, just coming into this family. And it was a friend and a friend coming together, and one friend was unlike the other. And I found that parallel in a friend, which is weird enough to say, but we're sitting there in geometry class and we're at the same table, and it didn't make sense, quote unquote, as friends go, but we're sitting there, we're drawing, we're doodling, we're doing math, and we just look at each other like, hey man, you draw, I draw, what table do you sit at lunch? And the friendship was formed from there on after. And when Kelsey says, aka the Black Seth Cohen, for the longest time, he was the Black Seth Cohen to the white Ryan.
Asian Ryan.
Asian Ryan.
Asian Ryan.
Asian Ryan.
He gives you your color credit.
He gives me the yellow credit that I give, that I get. It was, we're talking about beer pong and stuff like that, like Johnny Storm, Iceman, like it was the yin to the yang, and we came about and we forged a friendship over drawing in geometry class at the center table, and here we are several years later on a podcast, just sitting around drinking, having a fun time in a friend's basement. And man, I'm just I've listened and I can't believe where I'm at right now. This is staggering.
Word. Hell yeah, that's just real spit too. And even going back to high school, like, it was real cool, like, just being on, like, student body government, like, SGA and shit. Like, back then, I was feeling already like the Obama situations. Like, I already just described this to a person the other day, just talking about, certain aspects of my black anxiety. It's just like, I'm used to being the only black person in the room, so I know the responsibility. But then it's like, if it's me and Joe in this situation, especially when dealing with student government, like, all right, I got his back, he got my back. Like, if Joe about to go here and try to run up this shit, trying to get this higher position, I got his back. We're gonna tag team this shit, because I know if he get in, and it's easier for him to get in, but then I get my influence, and we ride together, so what works for me works for him, and it works for everybody. And so that's
if
how
I go in, he goes in.
So that's how we mix that shit up. And we used to be on the dances at Harrison and shit in high school, coming up with the themes and shit. We buying the supplies and shit. One of my first racist moments came from, like, going to Joanne Fabric, getting fabric from the homecoming dance, and them excusing me as stealing, like, motherfucking, what was that shit?
It was some bullshit.
What was it? Gondolin? Not Gondolin, but
Garland.
Garland.
Yeah.
Like, they accused me of stealing Garland and shit. Like, I was stuffing it underneath my FUBU jersey and try to rock out there with fucking lace and shit and fucking, what's that, tissue paper. Like, nah. Like,
They
she felt me.
legit walked up to me like, hey,
They
is
felt
he
me up
with
and shit.
you? And I was like, yes.
We
We're
all
doing-
came in together.
It was several of us.
It was me, you, and Kelsey. It was just us
Yeah,
three.
us three.
Why the fuck are y'all stealing Garland?
We weren't stealing Garland,
I had a
man.
kiss
They
We're-
were still in Garland.
We're
I had a
in-
quinceanera that I had to work on the back end so I could come up on this money to pay for my crack debt.
So you got Craig. You got fired on your day off.
that
Some
crack
shit you
debt.
didn't do.
No.
No, not
not-
crack that.
not-
Craig did.
No.
He said crack
I
debt.
had crack
I
debt.
heard crack.
I had a crack debt that had a.
I was trying not to acknowledge the sad part of the story.
No. It's all fictional, but in a TV series.
Hey, real or not,
But
don't
legitimate.
ever talk about your crack debt.
But legitimate. 17 years old with two black men in a fabric store walking
You didn't
up.
punch all them white people?
I was the reason why Kelsey was getting searched and all
Why
that
don't
was
white
because
violence
of
is okay?
do-rag.
He had a
It was not
do-rag
even
on.
wearing
He was wearing his do-rag.
Kelsey used to
Oh,
always wear do-rags.
do-rags.
He had like 157 colors of do-rags.
I had a do-rag for every color in the rainbow.
It was
and then
150.
some.
every
56.
shirt, or if his pants were a different color, he wear a white T-shirt, but his do rag will match his pants, or they match his shoes,
And he had them
or they
Jacob
match
watches.
his shirt.
Hell yeah.
And it was like a legit color match. He had 50 shades of red.
That's why most of my time on Def Jam Fight for New York was spent like in the closet. Like,
Don't even bring up Def Jam.
Like, how I'm gonna fuck these niggas up with these? I need to fight some more matches. Get these Sky Blue Loves. I'm gonna go with this
Fucking
fucking
do rag
Dickie suit.
fucking up, fucking big, fucking.
Yeah,
bullshit.
just delete all that.
But getting back into the OC, the topic at hand, Ross, what is your relationship with the show and how did you get into it?
My relationship was basically you literally forcing me to watch the OC. I can't recall if it was the Christmas Cup Bar Mitzvah Cup episode, but it was season 3, aka the best season of all seasons.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to stop you. I don't mean to stop a black man from his black thoughts. But Daniel, that just lets me know you never watched the OC if you're grimacing like that about the Christmas Cup Bar Mitzvah Cup.
He was looking at me drinking my frozen beer that I'm still trying to de-thaw.
So you seen the OC before.
Yes. I
Okay.
have 4 sisters.
And
that's what they fucking watched.
pause. Continue, Ross. My fault.
Christmas bar mitzvah. Yeah, but yeah, it was basically you were forcing me, and by the time we were watching it, I was like, oh, this dude Seth is a white version of you.
Is this the time where they're in the Vegas?
No,
No,
Vegas
this
is
is-
not the first Christmas bar mitzvah.
He said season 3.
Yeah, season 3. Season 3's.
Well, he did say that, but that didn't take place at the same time, though.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I was just...
So flashbacks.
The Christmas bar mitzvah was when he was deciding on figuring out the perfect gift for summer and and trying not to have him.
Anna.
So he
Anna.
wasn't with Anna.
That's season 1.
Yeah,
No,
this
Anna season 2.
is Anna season 3.
No. Anna season 2.
The show should
And
have
Anna was there from Jump Street. Almost.
No, well, no.
But the Anna summer fight for Seth was season
Season-
3.
Because
It was,
nobody came to his Christmas bar mitzvah in the first place. And that was
that was-
Ryan. That's how we got introduced to the holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the best Christmas ever.
So was it Olivia Wilde's character in season 2, and then
Yeah, she
Anna
got introduced
season
in the
3?
bait shop.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Alex.
Alex. Mhm.
Because I like my girls a little small.
Actually, no.
But Alex had a body and a very sturdy chin.
And now that we
That jaw was
talk,
strong, aerodynamic.
now that we talking about it, I think my very first episode might have been season 1 and season would have been season 2 then,
The old bait shop.
because it was Olivia Wilde in the bait shop.
And the bait shop was their local hangout spot. Just like if you watch Saved by the Bell, if you're old like me, they had the Max, or even like fucking Family Matters. They had, what was it, Reggie's? Yep. They had, because every show, Central Perk, if you're familiar with Friends,
So wasn't
every
it-
show has their central meetup
Every
spot. If you watch
show
All American,
has
they
their-
had what Spencer ate at.
It wasn't a literal bait shop.
No,
it
but
was-
it's the
It was
name of it.
the bait shop
Because it was on the
pier.
beach, so it's like,
But
ooh,
it
was
it's,
on the
it's,
It
pier.
was like a little club or a little hangout.
no, it was like Denny's, but with,
No,
it was like a surfer's Denny's.
Well, what was that? What was the place in One Tree Hill then?
Oh shit!
diner?
Name of the mom, his Lucas's mom.
Yeah.
It was a diner, but then after
Shit.
she bought it, and then
But yes, so
It wasn't
what we're-
Nikki's. Oh,
what-
Karen's.
Karen.
It's Karen's.
What we're getting back to is
Karen's,
every
that's
show.
racist.
Every show had a place
Yes.
that
The Peach Pit was on
the Peach Pit.
90210.
Yeah, the
Or the
Peach
dot
Pit.
on Degrassi.
Yeah,
I
the
know,
dot.
But when
No,
you say
the
the
dot.
bait shop, I think like this little hole in the wall right before you get to the lake.
Word.
Yeah,
That's-
but not.
But
That's
imagine the lake being
as
an
we're
ocean.
old men now.
Yes. Because with
Not even as a kid, I thought bait shop means we going fishing.
Yeah, but this bait shop was basically more
This
just a
bait
restaurant.
shop-
Just fishing
the
for white
pier.
women.
Yeah.
No,
Well, the bait shop on OC is just a restaurant.
It's a diner.
Well,
It's a little hangout.
it was a club. It was a bar. It was a bar.
There's a bar.
It was a
Okay.
bar.
Yeah, that's the difference. Like either you only serving drinks and kind of food, or you're serving mainly food and maybe some drinks. That's the difference between a diner and a bar.
Anyway,
it was like Pops from Riverdale's when Veronica got that shit at the bottom. But the bait shop was there for people to do shit during the day, work, but then at night they rented out the basement and it had fucking live acts and music. And that's one of the aspects about the OC that made it ahead of its time, because not only did it give you
There was
this teen
Airbnb in the
dramedy,
basement.
they had a teen dramedy, they had that shit, but also they had the soundtrack.
that's where I discovered the Killers.
Exactly. And from riding around with Joe in his car, him buying the soundtrack or downloading it, I would listen to the music, we would bond the music, and then we bond with the show. And then when you hear that song in the show, you connect more, and then you're like, oh shit, and tell somebody else about the show. Because nowadays, every show, especially if it's in the YA market, if it's on CW, if it's aimed towards younger people, the soundtrack and the show go hand in hand. So they make sure the music matches the tone. They make sure you can find it. If you remember this time point in television when at the end of every show you hear, hey, if you like this song, go here to get this, or this artist here featured today. OC was at the forefront of that shit.
it was Roswell, then OC,
Yep.
and then One Tree Hill were the three big
All
front
three
runners
shows
that
is where I found the soundtrack to my 14 to 19-year-old life.
Is
And Veronica
Roswell
Mars.
that old? I thought
Yes.
Roswell was new.
No.
This the reboot.
New
that's out
Mexico
now.
is out now, but the
Reboot.
original Roswell was the very first CW show that ever said, if you like this song, this is by who so and so. Go to CW.com.
CW.com.
All I'm saying is
Fine.
Roswell isn't a new show.
It's,
Well,
it's not a new.
Roswell-
It's not a new IP because it's based on the book.
Technically, yeah,
It's semi-new.
It's a rework.
This
But they did it before they did it. What I'm trying to reference, I guess.
Well,
Yeah.
we're
this
old,
new Roswell
so-
is based off of the
I didn't know
book.
there was an old Roswell. I
Yeah,
thought the
yeah,
new
yeah.
It was,
Roswell was
it was the original
The
Roswell.
Roswell TV series, the first iteration.
Are they linked at all?
No. The first
Total
Roswell.
reboot.
Yeah, it's total
Okay.
reboot. The first Roswell iteration came out when Nelly Furtado "Turn Off the Lights" was still on radio.
Nelly Furtado. I know
She
that's
was
one
on
of
that
your
episode.
personal favorites.
Exactly, I had that hoe in my locker.
Personal
I
fave.
respect her always.
You
But-
love her.
Yes, I do. Dido, the song that they sampled for Stan.
Yep.
So
with,
not so bad. I Save You.
with-
That's
yeah.
the theme song to the original Roswell TV series.
Okay.
So that's a little
That was
wrap
when
around.
I didn't know
CW,
that. Like, so
Smallville.
CW Roswell started back high school era for us, and then
but nobody
now,
was fucking with it.
Yeah, but now it's a. Well, didn't it get canceled already after like 2 or 3 seasons?
No. The new Roswell.
The new
Roswell
Roswell
is still fresh.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
still
so
going.
new Roswell is like what, going into season 4 or season?
No,
No,
it's
no,
only
no.
on the second. It's still live and it's still currently in the second season. It should be like
But you don't need to watch old Roswell,
No,
to understand new Roswell.
Not at all.
Old Roswell came out after Smallville.
And Smallville was a shit though.
Until
It was the original CW. It was the
tomato.
original CW verse show.
It was the original I'm Not the Hero, but I'm the Hero show.
Yeah.
It was live action anime.
oh shit.
Live action anime.
no, it was.
I'm
It
not
was-
the hero, but I'm the hero.
It was not the first live action anime because Lucas Scott was the hero. But going into that shit, the OC predicted a lot of shit, especially when Seth and Zach had issues with their self-created comic book. When they broke up their partnership, Zach went on to start his own comic book brand, and that shit started popping based on characters he worked with Seth, like Kid Chino, based on Ryan, Little Miss Vixen, based on Summer, and then you have this type of meeting in their heads when they want to take it to TV, this, that, and the third, but Seth is like, yo, I don't want to do this shit with my legacy, X, Y, and Z. Just to fast forward now, and we see all this shit happening with people that created their own IPs.
Well, like not even created their own IPs. Like look at the Star Wars universe. Just you have Jon Favreau going up against
He's doing better than most of the motherfuckers.
Jon Favreau is the savior of Star Wars, but like Lindsay.
Whoa,
We will not.
whoa,
Dave Filoni, right here. Dave Filoni
Works.
is the savior. Jon Favreau is bringing a new live action audience.
To the live action.
Okay.
I don't.
But he's not
I
a
love
savior.
Dave. I love
He's-
Dave.
He's a disciple.
Ooh,
John Favreau is a disciple.
I'm in with you because the Clone Wars, the last season of Clone Wars,
All
Dave
of Clone
Filoni.
Wars.
the last season of Clone Wars, all of Clone Wars. Shut up.
Exactly. You know why? Because
Let them get their sound.
No, you
Because
can't.
Dave
sound.
Filoni.
But no,
because that
Dave
doesn't
Filoni
matter
and-
because like the OC had
what
George
he-
Lucas on an episode and they discussed certain things about that and
Pre-merger.
exactly pre-merger. So we had that on there. Guess who else we had on the OC? We had Chris Brown on the episode. We already talked about having Olivia Wilde in the episode. There were so many people that made their career
Bones.
or started on that shit and then evolved further. Like the boy that played Yo Dude on Vampire Diaries.
Oh yeah, we had good old Stefan on here
Salvatore.
playing one of the best bad boys that I had to double check him. Like, wait, he was a bad boy on here. All right.
Yes. And like it's so many connections to that universe. Like the director of that shit, Matt G, he created he didn't create,
Matt
but he
G.
directed the first 2 Charlie Angels movies that came out in the early 2000s, and he came from shooting music videos.
Mick G or Mac G?
I call him Mac G.
Mick G.
I call
And
him Mac.
He was also a writer on Supernatural.
Exactly.
Mac G's the
He
things
actually
that he
had-
does good are great, and then everything else is fucking hot trash. But he tries to follow the same formula, and it doesn't work with every medium he tries to proceed after.
But when he
But
does
he
get
works
to work,
because
it works.
when he makes big money, it's big money, and that's why studios put money into his ass.
Those first 5 seasons of Supernatural, pretty good.
I don't watch that shit.
Pretty good.
Sorry.
And the
It
thing
gets kinda
about
trash after that.
the
But
OC, which hits hard, is like you see a white kid like Ryan that comes from Chino. Chino is basically the hood, the Pueblo to Seth's Cheyenne Mountain, and he goes through all this shit. He comes up and he gets adopted by Sandy Cohen, who is Seth's dad. He's brought in because Sandy's like, yo, just give him opportunity to live his best life. This kid has potential because he come from shitty circumstances.
He's actually adopted. There's not some sort of like family
No.
relation.
100%
No.
adopted.
He's 100% adopted.
This
He's
is-
better than him.
lives
So
in the pool
this
house.
is a rich man trying to be appreciative, or
He was a Jew kid as Sandy Cohen, the father. He was a poor kid from New York in the Bronx. He went through these adversities. His mother raised him to be a good man. He became a defense attorney or lawyer. He moves to the West Coast, meets a blonde white woman.
Yeah.
His mama don't like that shit. They have Seth.
Shit's
they have
good.
kids. Yes, they don't have that cheap the chutzpah.
The chutzpah.
The chutzpah from Seinfeld.
Shitska is a negative. The chutzpah is what you need to be
So,
appreciated.
yes.
What it boils down to is Sandy, kid from the other side of the tracks, quote unquote, finds a kid from the other side of the tracks.
Because he
says
knew that because that's how
he-
he grew up.
He is his
Why
public
does this
defender.
guy relate to this kid?
He is
just
his
happened to be
public
that-
defender.
Yeah.
Okay, so he kind of knows
He
his
sees
struggle.
he sees this kid coming up hardship. From
So
the
he knows his struggle.
well, coming from the other side of the track, quote unquote, and sees that he has nobody in his corner and takes him. He's walking down the street. Sandy pulls up next to him in this Range Rover. Like, hey man,
That range.
hey, where are you staying tonight? Like, looks him in the eye. And he brings him into his house, puts him in his pool house. He fights with his wife. He fights with his son, like, because he's like, hey man, look, this kid he's on rough times. He hasn't had the best life. He needs a chance. And then the friendship is forged in Seth Cohen being a nerd and just getting bullied, and Ryan stands up for him. And then Ryan and Seth are the outcasts, and they do their own thing. They build their own lives. Seth does his thing. Ryan does his thing. And it's just them, like the kid from the other side of the tracks and the privileged kid who is bullied and beat down and just
Now Seth didn't really want to fuck with Ryan for the whole entire time, and then literally Ryan defended Seth, and then Seth was like, "Well, this is new. I'm gonna need to keep this around me as much as I can."
No, it's just like one of them things. It's like it's
the other kid.
It's
The
the
other
early
kid.
2000s. I don't know anything about you. You're now in my home. I want to be cool. I'm a loser. Now I got a bad boy with me. And that first episode of the OC encompasses all of what this series
It's
turns out
supposed
to
to
be.
be.
Exactly. So with
But
that
the
being said,
bad boy is not necessarily the bad boy.
no, he's not.
He
he's
just
a guy
he-
with a heart of gold.
yeah, but normally because of his situation,
And a blank stare.
he gets put as a troublemaker,
Yes.
an asshole, the piece of shit, whatever you want to fucking call him.
Yes, he's white trash. He's California white trash.
But because most people don't understand his point that he's fighting for,
Because they don't want to hear it.
Yeah. And they just think he's just some dumbass, overprivileged kid.
Not
No.
overprivileged,
No.
underprivileged.
He's
Well,
the kid. He's the
okay,
kid from the
yeah,
other side of the
underprivileged.
tracks.
The thing that he's more thrust into overprivileged because of the kids because of Seth's dad actually seeing the potential
Well, yeah,
in him.
he took a chance in this kid,
Yeah.
but now this kid is thrown into a totally different
Over
fucking arena.
the possibility of
he
success.
knows how to fight in his level, and now you took him up to here, and even though he's totally just for what he does, I don't know. I ain't ever seen the show.
It's basically about people Ryan realizing that it's where you're born from and the product of your environment can help make or break you. Seeing the growth between Ryan and Seth as brothers, friends, and then just them as individuals as well.
See, if y'all ever would explain that to me, I would feel like, okay, maybe I need to watch this show.
Nah, like, I wouldn't explain the OC to anybody. I was just like, watch it. Especially if you miss it from the beginning at what it is, because TV series have gotten more sophisticated. Yeah, but back then, they just let that shit cook. So back then, this shit was better than the norm, but you watch it now, it's like, oh, why do y'all like this shit? It's just not even that good. Like, no, because they had to elevate the quality of the writing and the experience
and
of
they
the
had
show.
to build that suspense, and they had to build everything. And just to throw this in, I know this is why you guys used to like Veronica Mars.
Oh, that's
because back then, OC was trying to throw in these crazy, intricate, like twist and plot twist, whatever the hell you want to call them. Let's throw in this little extra fucking shit to go in to help delve the story. But like OC is Veronica Mars.
Oh, it is not. It is not.
Yeah, the one thing
Veronica Mars predates OC, and Veronica Mars.
No,
is
I'm not
so-
saying it's the same exact.
No, same. I know that, but I'm saying like the way Veronica Mars is structured is just different from the OC.
It's more intellectual.
Not necessarily, but it treats the audience like they're smart.
Yeah.
It's not giving you like equations like Dr. Stone and shit, but it's like, yo, we dealing with some nuanced shit. This is a series focused on a woman. So now we have to watch her journey and deal with this other shit. But with that being said, we're going to have to come wrap this shit up. So I just want to real quick, the thing about this show that made it so special, because it just puts a warmthness in your heart. Going even back to the theme song, we can't sing it because copyright. California by Phantom Planet. Google it, YouTube it. As soon as that shit hits, you already in that world. And I just want to ask you guys, who is your favorite character, and what is one of your favorite moments of this entire series? Starting with you, Joe.
Man, like sitting back and just really thinking about it. As we went through life, I was Ryan, Kelso's fucking Seth, and it was that brother mentality. Like, I'm here for you, you're here for me. Just going through these episodes and watching and just being the quiet kid from Chino and the outgoing comic book guy that lives in OC. Just sitting there and like looking out for each other and just being there for one another. That's what our friendship was forged on. As we sat and we played a million games of beer pong, listening to the song from Phantom Planet and just wrecking shop.
That was a
Wrecking
Serenity
shop.
song, too.
That was the one that pulled us in.
Except for
We
that one
won.
time.
We won.
Nothing's perfect.
We won games on games on games. Playing
If we played
that
32
song.
games of beer
Except for
pong,
that
we'll
one night.
lose 4 of them if we were playing that song.
If that song was on,
we'll lose 4 of the 32.
we're good for 84% of the
And
time.
y'all lost them for the
Who would be you, Ross?
Me
Did
and
you
Joe.
get what? First off, Joe, did you give us your favorite character?
Oh,
Yes,
Brian.
Ryan.
Brian,
Ryan-
I'm just double checking.
Ryan's, I'm Ryan, you're Seth. That's the way that shit boils down, man.
Now you know how I feel, Ross. You
Mm-hmm.
nasty,
What are you
nasty,
That
nasty
Why
man.
you
I'm
do that in his
Ryan,
face?
you're Seth.
he
That's the
does
way
it
that
to
shit
me.
boils down. At
You
the
put shit in jars. You
at
haven't
the end of
seen
the
it.
day, at the end of the day,
Ross like,
Ryan.
nobody believe you, Kelsey, because I'm Roscoe. Everybody knows you treat me like shit. Look how Kelsey bruised my ego. He never says I'm good at anything. I'm just
extra
lacking.
Metamucil.
And I see it work. I'm like, God
That's a song.
My manipulation.
Ross is the emo
That's a
cop.
situation.
I seen it work. I'm like,
Defund
he
that
really got them.
motherfucker.
He really got them tricked. They really.
Them jitsus.
But then again, I can't stop from feeding into it because I'm like, fuck you then. If you ain't about me, fuck you.
I especially love using that jutsu when he's drunk because he know it's happening, but he
But I
can't
can't do
control
anything
it. So it's just
He
a
watches
stress-
like
it's just a stressed out Kelsey like, don't believe what the fuck he's saying. Don't believe what the fuck he's saying.
but
I'm
he
just sitting
won't
there
say
like-
that.
I'm just sitting there like, why would
You
he
th-
say that to me, guys?
You think I'm
Hey Ross,
You think I'm
remember the
stressed
truth
out?
is written.
The truth is written. You think I'm stressed out.
You can't
How adorable.
you can't hide behind that anymore because it's out there.
No,
and
it's not. No,
live.
he can't.
Oh, I
Only
can't.
10 people listen to this. And 3 of them 10 people are in this room right now.
Wait,
Wait. Think about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 of the 10 are here. There's 2 of us that don't even listen to this shit.
I don't count us.
And I know exactly who them 2 are.
I don't count us.
Bro, I count you. You do listen.
I don't listen.
We don't
Only because your DC episode was a fucking full fucked up loop.
No, we
It
don't
was
listen.
like
we
a
don't
repetitive,
listen.
like,
I give it 20 minutes and I'm like, I don't like the sound of my voice.
like this.
I'm like,
bro, this is why I need a producer credit because I make sure it comes out right. I need a producer credit.
Oh, speaking of that, all right, we're going to get back to that later. But Ross, favorite character and favorite moment of the OC?
Your mom's.
I'm be honest, I can't have a favorite character, but I have a favorite relationship, which is Seth and Summer, because just them two together, just the growth of their relationship. But if I had to
You
go,
were a Seth. You definitely.
oh,
Seth.
I'm dead. Oh, bruh, my feelings get hurt. I'm jumping on the boat and selling.
Kelsey, where's Vasco at? He had a boat. How would you know what his chart his course to? Because I don't like water. And me and him are have a pact. I will not come for you. And he'll be like, I don't want you to. Like, nigga, I was never playing it. I know. Alright. Stupid. Like, thank mom supposed to swim. I'm like, what the fuck? Nigga, you want to swim in a summer hypnotic breeze? Fucking Alizé hypnotic and Incredible Hulk breeze? Like, what? What? No. I'm saying my black ass on the coast eating chicken. Trying to master my seawalk. I ain't got time for that shit.
Seafood.
Seth got his feelings broke and sailed the fuck away. That shit was still so great. And for a whole 2 episodes, what the fuck Seth? What the fuck Seth? What the fuck Seth? The boat's gone.
The summer break is gone. And for me being specific, of course, without saying, my favorite character is Seth Cohen, aka Adam Brody. One of my favorite episodes would definitely be the Vegas episode because when that happened, I've never been to Vegas. But after I've been to Vegas, that episode hit my heart so many different ways.
And
it's
you do
one
it
of
harder
these-
than him?
No. Oh, yeah. Seth never got kicked out no place in Vegas. I was getting paid to dance with my clothes on. I got paid for
Hey,
street
bro,
dancing.
fuck, clothes
with
on,
my
clothes
clothes
off.
on.
Getting paid is getting paid.
Nah, I keep my thing to myself.
Hey, bro, it don't matter, man. Money's money.
Mm-mm.
It's okay to hit yourself on the chin.
No. That's the one for me and the ghost in my room to see that shit.
Solid.
And with that being said, we're gonna wrap that shit up. And of course, we talked about what we want to geek out about the OC, the modern day American classic. And just if you already seen that OC or you like what we talked about, want to watch something similar, we're just gonna give out my recommendations in a segment called Yo Check It Out. I'm gonna keep it real short. It's gonna be the name of the show, where you can find it, and very quickly why you should watch it. I'm gonna start with myself. Netflix, a little series called Outer Banks.
Oh.
People from 2 sides of the track, fucking typhoons, gold, social inequalities. Booyah, Kasha. Ross, what would you recommend for somebody that likes the OC?
Well, I don't want to be so obvious and common and say,
But I know what you're going to say.
and say OTH,
OTH, you know why? Because only one Tree Hill.
but
You going to.
I'm going to anyway. So, One Tree Hill is such a great thing, and it's so. If you don't want to see preppy white kids in school, but you want to see sports oriented of preppy white kids in school, I recommend One Tree Hill.
Joe, what about you?
Oof, my goodness. So you're gonna ask me to ask people to go watch something that's after
What
an
would you
instant
recommend?
classic.
What would you recommend?
Yes.
What's similar
It's
to the OC?
I haven't seen anything in my personal experience that's close to the OC.
So you're just gonna double down,
Not even the Tree of One.
You're just gonna say watch
Here?
the goddamn fucking show.
or the Grassy?
No, not even. After all that's said and done,
Joseph,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
say this episode is about the OC, and if you haven't seen the OC, watch it.
Better question. Since you don't have a TV series that you recommend, what episode of the OC that you recommend? If you never watched it, this is the episode to watch that will make you fall in love with the series.
This is the mandatory.
If there's one episode that
You're
could,
on the line right now.
that could tell the story of OC,
Why the fuck
all
you
in
watch
one.
this shit?
like, what would that episode probably be?
The first 2 episodes of season 1,
All right.
because
No, I'm saying like, all right. I already know why.
first 2
And
episodes
you
of
right.
season 1.
You
Don't
absolutely
even
Because-
play it. Just say first 2 episodes and say fuck everybody.
No,
You right.
not fuck everyone. The first 2 episodes,
No, fuck everybody.
watch it. It sets it up, and then the Vegas episode, because there's been so many.
Whoa.
References.
Hold up.
Matter of
Roscoe.
fact, it feels like you're going to do a callback.
Hold up, Roscoe. Joseph just told us to watch a Vegas episode of one of our favorite TV series without even being to Vegas with us. We've been out there once, not twice, not 3, but 4 times together. And he has not. I'm going to give him your son treatment. Because Luke has never been out there with us either.
Luke!
And he don't even watch the OC.
Luke!
And yes,
Yes, y'all.
please check out everything we tell you to, because during quarantine you don't have a lot of access to certain
what else are you gonna
activities. Exactly.
And if you got HBO Max, it just gives you more reason to use HBO Max.
Of course. And to bring this episode to an end, I just want to thank everybody that was a part of this. The boy Chris with no Ace, the boy Daniel Rojas. Patience is a virtue.
He is our Freddy, but yeah, he hates us, but that's what Freddy did. We'll say.
Time is an illusion, but if you decide to see it and bury it all, ooh, your shoulders will be strong. Your shoulders will be strong.
You'll be
Thank-
Lucy, and you become Black Goo and become endless.
Yo,
you want
because
the
Black
end.
Goo is the truth. Because Black Goo is here in the beginning, Black Goo will be in the end. Watch Lucy if you want to comprehend. Yes, thank you, Joe, Joseph, Joey, Ingargiola, Richard II. That means you 2D or D2.
He called you
Like
2
the dice.
dicks.
Yes, ain't nothing wrong with that because one shit could be longer than another shit.
Thanks
Like
for
a
having me on.
Swiss
It
Army
was
knife.
it
A
was a
cutlery.
pleasure. I want to do this again.
Oh,
Word and respect, and just let everybody know that you was on for show, and we could build the brand. Ross, any final words before we get the fuck out of here?
stay black, y'all. Stay black, y'all. Stay bliggity black. The black, y'all. Fight the power.
Word. And yeah. Welcome to the OC, bitch. Be one or be nothing. We out.
Love and peace.